If you are planning on going to Cancun anytime soon, this video is for you because I'm going to give you some quick 2025 updates, things you need to know, and things that have changed since my last visit earlier this year. And if you are new to my channel, 3 Days and Tres Noches, I bring you honest resort reviews and travel tips and show you can have an amazing vacation in a really short amount of time. Now, this video request actually came from a TikTok video. So if you are on TikTok, please follow me there. It's the same 3 Days, 3 Noches, also on Instagram. First, I want to update you on the seaweed conditions in Cancun and what to expect, because I'm sure you've seen some of the videos on social media or news reports. And it is true that not only Cancun, but many areas of the Caribbean are experiencing record-breaking levels of seaweed. And it's actually called Sargassum. You probably already know it's brown floating algae. It forms in the middle of the Atlantic, but it's just gotten so bad over the recent years, they're saying, because of climate control, nutrient runoff, and warmer water temperatures. And the ocean winds and the currents bring it to shore. Now, the resorts do the best that they can trying to clean this up, but often it's just a losing battle. It's very hard to predict because it changes from day to day. Now, I'm not trying to scare anyone from going on their trip, especially if you have something already planned. In fact, this has been an issue for Cancun at least as long as I've been going there during the summer months. And all areas really seem to get at least some of it. I just got back from the hotel zone. Usually it's less there, but it was pretty piled up. I was also in Riviera Maya. It wasn't too bad, but it was definitely getting worse with each day. They say Playa Mujeres and Costa Mujeres, which is north of the hotel zone, is not getting a lot yet. Again, that can change. Also, Isla Mujeres and Cozumel, there's areas where it's nice and clear. But my suggestion would be, if you are a beach lover and you feel like this is going to really ruin your vacation, one is maybe plan some day trips where you could go to Isla Mujeres or El Cielo Cozumel so you could get that beach time in. You need some recommendations for these day trips. In the description, I actually have a whole excursion shop for Cancun that has the top rated and most popular ones. And if you've been to a resort in Cancun recently, maybe you could share your experiences in the comments and let us know what the conditions were like. And yes, it's Mother Nature. There's not a lot we can do about it. But I do get a lot of comments whenever I do talk about sargassum saying, "It's seaweed, get over it. What's the big deal?" And yes, of course, it's part of Mother Nature. But when you have saved all year long and you want that beach vacation, I also understand how it really could ruin someone's vacation. So that's why I just wanted to update you on this, because believe it or not everyone is aware of it. All right, next let's talk about the Cancun airport. And I didn't do a separate video on this because honestly, not much has changed. So if you are new to my channel, I have done quite a few videos on the Cancun airport, all of the tips, how to avoid scams, how to navigate. So you can find those in the description below. I would say the only thing that I did want to update you on is the Visitax. Oh, the Visitax. There's still so much confusion around it. I get so many comments about it. And honestly, I've said this in quite a few videos, I too am still confused about the Visitax. Here's what I know. Now, first of all, I'm not telling you not to pay the tax or to pay the tax. In fact, in all of my videos, whether I'm talking about a resort or information, I'm just giving you the facts and you can do with it what you want. And if you have no clue what I'm talking about, I will link all of the videos that I've done about it in the description. But basically, it's just a state tax that they enacted, I think 3 or 4 years ago. It's supposed to go to helping preserve the beaches and the state parks, everything tourists love about Cancun. I think one of the biggest issues is that you have to pay this online, and a lot of people are not comfortable with giving their info online, and there's a lot of scam sites. And again, I get the confusion. I usually pay it online. It's $15 a person, so it's not a lot of money. Whether you decide to pay the tax or not pay the tax, I just wanted to update you on the airport part of it, because again, a few months ago, people were reporting that the enforcement was really high, and these people were really aggressive in getting tourists to pay this tax, which that I'm not really comfortable with. And this is why it's getting a bad name. And the price at the airport is $25 a person versus like $15 or $17 a person. So I'm assuming they have to give some kickbacks to the airport. So my suggestion would be, if you are going to pay it online. You get a QR code and you can just flash it to those people, tell them that you've already paid it, and you can just keep going to security. If they try to tell you that they're not going to let you through, that's actually false, because you can pay the tax up to 24 hours after you get home. The other thing I wanted to update you on, and just something to expect, is just the overall increase in prices across the board. Just like here in the United States, Mexico is also experiencing inflation, so gas prices are higher, which means your transportation cost is going to be higher. I know a lot of people have commented on the increased price at resorts as well. And again, this is just something to expect, I think, almost everywhere right now. I also wanted to remind you about hurricane season, because we are just at the start of it. It's supposed to be a very active hurricane season for the entire Caribbean. Just like the Sargassum, there's no way to predict it. So if you are traveling within the next 5 to 6 months to the Cancun area, I would just recommend getting some travel insurance. I will put some recommendations in the description below. So another thing I wanted to update you on is something that I'm doing differently now, and that is I'm tipping now in pesos rather than US dollars. And yes, the US dollar is widely accepted everywhere. But as I travel there more now, interact with more people, I just realized that it makes more sense to pay in pesos, not only with tipping, but I do that now almost anywhere in Cancun that I go. Now that the new iPhone has that really cool converter, it's so much easier. And I feel like I'm not taken advantage of as much anymore if I do go off the resort and pay for something. And then for the workers at the all-inclusive resort, it's just easier for them because then they don't have to exchange the US dollars to pesos. Other thing to note is that you can be taken advantage of when you are exchanging from US dollars to pesos. So it didn't happen to me in Cancun, but it did happen to me in Punta Cana at one of the resorts, where they charged a crazy exchange rate to change from US dollars to pesos. And another thing I just learned is you can actually order pesos from your bank before you go. So I wasn't able to do this because I didn't give them enough time. Usually you need like 2 days, but you can do it directly from your app, and you can order the amount of money that you need and then just go pick it up from the bank. So the next best option would be to exchange it once you get there at a local bank. So not at the airport, because that usually has a high exchange rate. And even at the resorts, they tend to charge a higher exchange rate. So you would just have to arrange a stop with your transportation company. Now, I have actually never done this. I've always exchanged at the resort or the airport. But again, I just feel like you get really taken advantage of at both places. Another update everybody wants is Cancun safe? In fact, this is the biggest question I've been getting since I've been going there. And yes, I still feel that Cancun is very, very safe. In fact, I've been there 3 times this year since the political election. And really, it's just like any tourist place that you go. You just have to use common sense and don't look for trouble, because when you look for trouble, you will find trouble. Last time I was staying at Live Aqua and went off the resort several times. I walked across the street to go to the mall. I hopped on the dollar bus and went into the clubs. Not a lot has changed since my last Cancun travel tips video. And in fact, I will make sure to link those in the description below, because there are a lot more tips that you need to know if you are traveling there soon and you haven't watched these videos. I always love hearing from you in the comments section below. I do try to respond to all comments and questions. And if you want to share any of your experiences, or if you have suggestions for a video, I would love to hear that too. But of course, if anything else changes, I will be sure to update you. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. In fact, I just uploaded an honest review of Live Aqua Cancun, so you definitely want to check that one out. I have another one coming and a lot more content that will be uploaded in the next few months.